Hi, Chathuri. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay for you today. Let's see what you've written here. It's the essay about ex-prisoners, so here's what you had to say. Some people are indeed changed to become better persons after imprisonment, and it is generally claimed that those people are the proper persons to advise young people about the repercussions of a crime. I strongly agree with this statement, and the following essay will discuss the reasons to support this statement. Okay, so generally speaking, this is fine. You've included the main elements that are necessary for a good introduction. That is, you've rephrased the topic and you've included your position. So this is what you need to do in your introduction. Also, I felt like it was concise, which is good. So these are all the things that were done well in this introduction. Now let's talk about some things that could have been improved. First of all, we don't really use the word persons anymore as the plural for person. We typically just use people. Now, perhaps, and this is true, you've noticed that if you were to change this to be people, then you have a sentence with people written many, many times, and that's not good. So I agree with you. Let's take a look at what that would have sounded like. Some people are indeed changed to become better people after imprisonment, and it is generally claimed that those people are the proper people to advise young people about the repercussions of a crime. No, okay? People 5 times, not good. So, what you're missing here is actually some good topic specific vocabulary. Let me show you what I mean. Some ex convicts indeed change. You may notice I'm changing this to the active voice. Some ex-convicts indeed change to become better people after imprisonment. And it is generally believed that they are the proper people to advise adolescents about the repercussions of crime, not a crime, but crime. Okay, so do you see how some changes with vocabulary, with I don't think actually I did. Yeah, I used pronouns. Okay, so some synonyms and some pronouns really help to make this sound better. Okay. All right, I strongly agree with this statement. And then look, statement. So you don't want that either. I strongly agree with this viewpoint, and the following essay will discuss the reasons to support this statement. Okay? Again, it's part of cohesion when you're able to use synonyms so that you're not repetitive. All right, let's move on. There is no doubt that ex-prisoners have real experiences of crime and crimes, and those people, how about this? Not those people. Let's get away from the word people. And they can share their experiences with adolescents who like to accept their advice. I don't know why you're saying this. Why do they like to accept their advice? Why? Okay, so let's shift this around a little bit. There's no doubt that ex-prisoners have real experience of crime, and they can share these experiences with adolescents. Full stop. Young people would have the opportunity to engage with these rehabilitated offenders and realize the effects of crimes and how people suffer when they go to prison, not when they should go. It would discourage juveniles who tend no, it would how about this? It would discourage at-risk juveniles. Wait a minute, this doesn't work. It would discourage at-risk juveniles from engaging in crime to create better people in society. A good illustration of this is the government may arrange awareness programs to educate whom? the youth about, not the harm, that doesn't work, about life of, let's see. A good illustration of this is that it's not really an illustration though, okay? So maybe you could have said, for example, the government could arrange awareness programs to educate the youth about life in prison, life in prison. Young people could attend those sessions, ask questions from offenders, and realize the, not the harm, the danger of crime. Again, look, harm, but still, either in both places, I didn't like it. All right, so let's talk about this paragraph. You're not really telling me why these ex-prisoners are the best people to do this job. All right, this is the key word in this essay here. Why are they the best people? So, can you see that there is an inherent comparison here? What makes them the best? And then I would also ask, compared to whom? All right. So these are some things that are really, if you answer these and you answer them well, these are some of the things that separate a good essay from a very good essay. Okay. A very good essay is going to take these into account and analyze them. So, let's take a look at how you developed your paragraph. So they have real experience of crime, so they can share their experience. Great. Okay, fine. Young people would have the opportunity to engage and realize the effects of crime. All right, so what do you mean? Why? What effects? Be specific. What will young people learn? The effects of crimes. Okay, what are they? You say they suffer. How do they suffer? Okay, explain this to us. So tell me that, they'll understand what it means to spend the holidays away from your family and to not have the freedom to go out for a walk or go out to dinner or, go to a movie, and what this restriction means and how dreadful it is. How to be a pariah in society. Okay? So these are some things you could have talked about. So hearing these firsthand stories and identifying with the prisoners can be a very effective way to um, dissuade young people from engaging in criminal activities. Okay, this is some of the stuff that you could have talked about here. And then here, I didn't really understand how this fit into your paragraph at all. Okay, I didn't really, maybe the problem is with this, a good illustration of this. You said it would discourage juveniles, etc., etc. So this didn't really link to me. You could have said something else. You could have said something like, if the government arranged awareness programs to educate the youth about life in prison, young people could attend these sessions and get in-depth knowledge from people who have experienced these horrors firsthand, which would have a life-altering effect on them. Okay, so I didn't really feel a connection here. It's not that your ideas weren't solid or anything, but they weren't really connected and you didn't really link them for us effectively. All right, let's keep going. On the other hand, people who return to society from prison also have a better vision of society when they can talk with young people. They would be preferred to educate the young generation and make connections. For instance, juveniles might have a clear idea about the entire world and how to interact with people after engaging with the prisoners. I am convinced that young people would have better outcomes from the acknowledgement of offenders. Okay, let's talk about this now. First of all, I disagree with your use of the expression "on the other hand." You're supposed to use this only if you've used "on the one hand" in your first paragraph. So using this here is inappropriate. Furthermore, we use these expressions "on the one hand" and "on the other hand" when we're showing two sides of an argument. Okay, we're showing two opposite sides. You haven't done that here. It's the same side. So there's no reason to show contrast. You could have just said "furthermore." or additionally, or what's more, something, okay? But not on the other hand. Then, to be totally honest with you, I don't understand the central idea here. You're saying they have a better vision of society. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't understand, and I don't understand how it's relevant. And a better vision of society than whom? Again. So it's just not really clear what makes these ex-prisoners the best people. And then I didn't like this. They would be preferred. Again, by whom? Educate the young generation and make connections. What kinds of connections? And then juveniles might have a clear idea about the entire world. How? An ideal, the entire world from the eyes of a former prisoner? I don't really understand this. Like, I mean, maybe it's maybe you've got some really clear ideas about this, like in your mind, but they haven't really come across on paper. So you can't assume that we know what you mean. You have to really, really spell it out for us, okay? All right. And then you say, I'm convinced about the better outcomes. All right, but you haven't convinced us. So why? Why would there be better outcomes? And then this was definitely the wrong word, not the acknowledgement. Maybe the input, maybe the stories, something. All right. Okay. To conclude, the fact is that prisoners become better people after prison, and they can make conversations. Now, not they have, and they can have conversations with adolescents. It would be beneficial for young people to understand the harm of crime. Don't use harm like this. How about the detrimental effects of crime? Not its effectiveness. That doesn't make sense. The effectiveness of crime? You don't mean this. You mean something else. Moreover, the young generation would have a better image of society and prevent disrespectful work. All right, wrong expression here. Furthermore, I agree with the statement that young people can engage with prisoners to understand the crimes. Okay, this is not how a conclusion needs to be structured. The conclusion essentially needs, number one, to restate whatever you've said here. Okay, I strongly agree with the statement. Which statement? Just so re-say it. Okay, so to conclude, I firmly agree that prisoners are the ideal people to dissuade young people from engaging in crime. Okay? And then you can just leave us with a thought-provoking ending or a prediction for the future. Maybe something like in the future, it is predicted that programs utilizing ex-offenders will become more commonplace. Done. All right. So why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, you had too much information here. You had it really didn't follow the right progression of ideas that a conclusion needs to have. And quite honestly, it was even longer than your body paragraph. Your body paragraphs are where you really want to develop. All right. That's where you're going to potentially score better in task achievement, not by writing a lot in your introduction or not by writing a lot in your conclusion. So save yourself the trouble of writing these long introductions or conclusions, and instead spend that time to develop your body paragraphs with fully developed, fully supported, with examples, with illustrations, but clearly laid out ideas. Okay, so there was a lot of good stuff in this essay, but there are some things that definitely need improvement. So I'd like to encourage you to take a look at the options that exist to work with us. There are essay correction packages, there's the online course. So take a look and see which option suits you best. I definitely think you would benefit from any of the options. All right, so I hope we can continue to work together. I look forward to it. Best of luck to you.